further secret origins of the girl detective. Some people say that she was the child of missionaries who raised by wolves, that she is the Princess Anastasia, last of the Romanovs. Some people say that she's actually a man. Some people say that she came here from another planet, and then someday, when she finds what she's looking for, she'll go home. Some people are hoping that she will take us with her. If you ask them what she's looking for, they shrug and they say, "Ask the girl detective." Some people say that she is 2,000 years old. Some people say that she's not one girl, but many. That is, she actually is a secret society of Girl Scouts, or possibly a sub-branch of the FBI. Whom does the girl detective love? Remember that boy, Fred or Nat, something like that? He was in love with the girl detective, even though she was smarter than him. Even though he never got to rescue her even once from the bad guys. Or, when he did, she was really just letting him to be kind. He was a nice boy with a good sense of humor, but he used to have this recurring dream in which he was a golden retriever. The girl detective knows this, of course, the way she knows all of our dreams. How could she settle down with the boy who dreamed that he was a retriever? Everyone has seen the headlines. Girl detective spurns head of state. I caught my husband in bed with the girl detective. Married 20 years, husband and father of 4, revealed to be the girl detective. I myself was the girl detective's lover for 3 happy months. We met every Thursday night in a French summer cottage beside a small lake. She introduced herself as Pomegranate Baham. I was besotted with her, her long legs so pale they looked like 2 slices of moonlight. I loved her size 11 feet, her black hair that always smelled like grapefruit. When we made love, she stuck her chewing gum on the headboard. Her underwear is embroidered with the days of the week. We always met on Thursday, as I've said, but according to her underwear, we also met on Saturdays, on Wednesdays, on Mondays, Tuesdays, and once, memorably, on a Friday. That Friday, or rather that Thursday, she had a tattoo of a grandfather clock beneath her right breast. I looked at it, surreptitiously, but it didn't come off. The previous Thursday, Monday, according to underwear, it had been on her left breast. I think I began to suspect then, although I said nothing and neither did she. The next Thursday, the tattoo was back, tucked discreetly under her left breast, but it was too late. It ended as I had slept, dreaming about the waitress at Frank's Inland Seafood, the one with Monday nights off, with a gap between her teeth and the freckles in her ass. I was dreaming that she and I were in a boat on the middle of the lake. There was a hole in the bottom of the boat. I was putting something in it to keep the water out, when I became aware that there was another woman watching us. An older woman, tall with a stern expression. She was standing on the water as if it were a dance floor. "Did you think she wouldn't find out?" she said. The waitress pushed me away, pulling her underwear back up. The boat wobbled. This waitress's underwear had a word embroidered on it. Payday. I woke up and the girl detective was sitting beside me on the bed, stark naked and dripping wet. The shower was still running. She had a strange expression on her face, as if she had just eaten a large meal and it was disagreeing with her. "I can explain everything," I said. She shrugged and stood up. She walked out of the room stark naked, and the next time I saw her it was 2 years later, and she was disguised as an old lady in a law firm in downtown Tokyo, tapping Morse code on the desk with one long petal pink fingernail. It was something about expense accounts or possibly a dirty limerick. She winked at me and I fell in love all over again. But I never saw the waitress again. What the girl detective eats for dinner. The girl detective lies down on her bed and closes her eyes. Possibly the girl detective was taking the fat man's case. Possibly she's just tired or curious. All over the city, all over the world, people are asleep. Sitting up in my tree, I'm getting tired just thinking about them. They're dreaming about children. They're dreaming about their mothers. They're dreaming about their lovers. They dream that they can fly. They dream that the world is round like a dinner plate. Some of them fall off the world in their dreams. Some of them dream about food. The girl detective walks through these dreams. She picks an apple off a tree in someone's dream. Someone else is dreaming about the house they lived in as a child. The girl detective breaks off a bit of their house. It pulls in her mouth like honey. The woman down the street is dreaming about her third husband, the one who ran off with the secretary. That's what she thinks. He went out for takeout one night, 5 years ago, and never came back. It was a long time ago. The secretary said she didn't know a thing about it, but the woman could tell the other one was lying. Or maybe he ran off and joined the circus. There's a man who lives in her basement, although the woman doesn't know it. He's got a television down there and a small refrigerator and a couch that he sleeps on. He's been living down there for the past 2 years, very quietly. He comes up for air at night. A woman who wouldn't recognize him if she bumped into him in the street. They were married about 20 years when he went to pick up the lo mein and wontons and shrimp fried rice, and it's taken him a while to get back home. He still hasn't set his keys. She hasn't been down in the basement for years. It's hard for her to get down the stairs. The man is dreaming too. He's working up his courage to go upstairs and walk out the front door. In his dream, he walks out to the street and then turns around. He'll walk right back up to the front door, ring the bell. Maybe they'll get married again someday. Maybe she never divorced him. He's dreaming about their honeymoon. They'll go out for dinner, or they'll go through the basement, down through the trapdoor in the underworld. He'll show her the sights. He'll take her dancing. The girl detective takes a bite out of the underworld. Chinese restaurants. I used to eat out a lot. I had a favorite restaurant which had really good garlic shrimp, and I liked the pancakes too, the scallion pancakes. But you have to be careful. I knew someone, their fortune said, your life right now is like a roller coaster, but don't worry, it will soon be over. Now what is that supposed to mean? That happened to me. The first fortune was ominous. No one will ever love you the way you love them. I thought about it. Maybe it was true. I came back to the restaurant a week later and I ordered the shrimp and I ate it, and when I opened the fortune cookie, I read, your friends are not who you think they are. I became uneasy. I thought I would stay away for a few weeks. I ate Thai food instead, Italian. But the thing is, I still wasn't safe. No restaurants are safe, except maybe truck stops or automats. Waiters, waitresses, they pretend to be kind. They bring us what we ask for. They ask us if there's anything else we want. They are solicitous of our health. They remember our names when we come back again. They are as kind to us as if they were our own mothers, and we are familiar with them. Sometimes we pinch their fannies. I don't like to cook for myself. I live alone, and it doesn't seem to be much point to it. Sometimes I dream about food, for instance, a cake. It was made out of whipping cream. It was the size of a living room, and just as I was about to take a bite, a dancing girl kicked out of it. Then another dancing girl. A whole troop of dancing girls, in fact, all covered in whipped cream. They were delicious. I like to eat food made by other people. It feels like a relationship, but you can't trust other people, especially not waiters. They are not our friends, you see. They are not our mothers. They don't give us the food that we long for, not the food that we dream about. Although, they could, if they wanted to. We asked them for recommendations about the menu, but they know so much more than that. If only they should choose to tell us. They do not choose to tell us. Their kindnesses are arbitrary and they are not to be counted as lasting. We sit here in this world, and the food that they bring us isn't of this world. Not entirely. They're not like us. They serve a great mystery. I returned to the Chinese restaurant like a condemned man. I ate my last meal. A party of women and big cats in small dresses sat at the table next to me. They ordered their food and they departed for the bathroom. Did they ever come back? I never saw them come back. The waiter brought me the check and a fortune cookie. I uncurled my fortune and learned my fate. You will die at the hands of a stranger. As I went away, the waiter smiled at me. His smile was inscrutable. I sit here in my tree eating takeout food hauled up on a bit of string. I put my binoculars down to eat. Who knows what my fortune will say? What color is the girl detective's hair? Some people say that the girl detective is a natural blonde. Others say that she is a redhead. How could the girl detective be anything else? Her father just smiles and she says she looks just like her mother. I myself am not even sure the girl detective remembers her original color of hair. She is a master of disguises. I feel I should make clear that no one has ever seen the girl detective in the same room as the aged housekeeper. She and her father have often been seen dining out together, but I repeat, the girl detective is a master of disguises. She is capable of anything. Further secret origins of the girl detective. Some people say that a small child in a grocery store bit her. It was one of those children who are constantly asking their parents why the sky is blue. And other really giant alligators, formerly the pets of small children, other small children, living in the sewers of the city, and if China is directly below us, could we drill a hole and go right through the center of the earth? And if so, would we come out upside down and so on? This child, radioactive with curiosity, bit the girl detective. And in that instant, the girl detective suddenly saw all these answers all at once. She was so overcome that she had to lie down in the middle of the aisle. With the breakfast cereal on one side of the canned tomatoes in the other, and the store manager came over and asked her if she was all right. She wasn't all right, but she smiled and let him help her stand again. And that night she went home and stitched the days of the week on her underwear, so that if she was ever run over by a car, at least she would be perfectly clear when the accident had occurred. She thought this would make her mother happy. Why did the girl detective cross the road? Because she thought she saw her mother. Why the girl detective's mother crossed the road? If only the girl detective knew. The girl detective was very small when her mother left. No one ever speaks of her mother. It causes her father so much pain to even hear her name spoken, to see it written down. Possibly the girl detective was named after her mother, and this is why we must not say her name. No one has ever explained to the girl detective why her mother left, although it must have been to do something very important. Possibly she died. That would be important enough, although almost forgivable. In the girl detective's room, there was a single photograph in a small gold frame of a woman, tall and with a very faint smile, rising up on her toes, arms flung open. She's wearing a long skirt and a shirt with no sleeves, a pair of worn dancing shoes, She's holding a sheaf of wheat. She looks as if she's dancing. The girl detective suspects this is her mother.